Hey guys, welcome back to According To. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ciera. For this week's episode, Megan and I are going to be chit-chatting about some of the hills that we would die on. And also, you guys, I had you submit some stuff, which granted I only posted it 2 hours before we're recording this.
So we'll see how much we get.
But our really active followers will hopefully get some of their hills that they'll die on in this episode as well.
Basically, this is just like us sharing opinions that we feel pretty strongly convicted about. So,
and they're usually like people like with this metaphor. Is it a metaphor? I actually don't know. I need to
I'm
forgetting
not English right now. So
everything.
Is it an idiom? Is it a?
No, it's not an idiom. I don't know what it is. But basically, it's like the size of the hill is like how much does this thing actually matter? Most of these are pretty small hills, but they are hills nonetheless. Do you know where this phrase comes from?
No.
So I ended up finding out. Do you have a guess?
I mean, I feel like it would just be like related to you're going to battle.
Yeah.
Like
it's like from battle.
War.
Usually
how much do you
like,
believe in the cause?
Usually they use hills as like barriers or things for defense. And so it's like if you're going to die on the hill, you're defending it with your last breath. So little history or English lesson for you guys. I don't know which category it falls in.
You're not here for that.
You didn't come here for this, or you didn't come to this podcast to learn. You came to, I was going to say yap, but we're yapping and you guys are listening. And we appreciate you for that.
We are going to start with our weekly spotlights and our book update as we do. And then if there's anything else to fill you guys in on, then we'll do that as well. I don't know if we have like a whole lot.
No, because the last time we recorded was earlier this week already, so.
Hasn't been that long.
Yeah. My weekly spotlight is that yesterday on July 19th, I got 2 new songs to listen to. Joe Jonas just released the first single for his upcoming album called Work It Out, and I'm really enjoying it. I was streaming it all morning. This morning I'm learning the words to it, which always makes a song more fun to listen to.
It's interesting because I didn't realize how long it had been since he alone actually released new music, but it's been
a
long time because it was, he was in D and CE for a while, and yeah, I was like on his Spotify page, and it's like you go back and it's like Camp Rock is like all of his like most popular, most streamed music personally, and so I was like, whoa. My weekly spotlight.
Also, Benson Boone released a song called Death Wish Love, which is one of the songs in the new Twisters movie.
Good.
It was my collective spotlight. I didn't get
my weekly spotlight is, I need to start thinking about these again before we start recording. I don't know. It's been a good flat week of...
What about book club?
Oh yeah, that could be it. Book club was good. What's really fun about book club is like the book brings us together, but then it's just nice to have like a group of girls to like talk about whatever with. And
like if there's a spectrum for book clubs of like, I feel like some book clubs would be very hardcore, like I want to discuss the book and like that's why we're here, that's all we're talking about, and then like we leave, versus the other end of the spectrum being like yapping the entire time. I would say ours would be like 25% book, 75% yap.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Especially like the book we just finished reading, The Measure. We could kind of talk about that, since I guess we said like if you wanted to read along, we could share a little bit about what we thought of the book. And so we read The Measure. I don't remember the author's name. Do you?
Nikki Erlich.
And so the premise of the book is essentially that people, this unknown being, thing, whatever, leaves a box with a string on everyone's doorstep if they're at least 22 years old. And it has some sort of quote that kind of alludes to like the length of your life. And so eventually
it's like the measure of your life lies within. If not verbatim, it's pretty close.
Yeah. And so a bunch of scientists around the world, this is like everyone around the world, no matter who you are, where you are, they get this box like on the same day. And then anyone who turns 22 after that gets the same box. And scientists end up doing like testing and stuff and determining that like the strings are accurately determining or saying how long someone's life is. And so it just is a book that talks about like different people's stories, whether or not they choose to look at the string, how the string impacts their life. It's kind of like political a little bit. But all of us kind of came to the conclusion that like the book wasn't great. I think that mostly speaking, it was probably like a 3 to 4 star book for people, mostly probably 3.5. And mostly because like a bunch of small stories about an interesting concept isn't enough to make like an interesting book in itself. I feel like the concept was good, but like none of the actual plot points were really that interesting, I thought.
Yeah, it had like a couple different characters that you're following, and the characters in some way, shape, or form were all connected, and so like it was kind of fun to see how their stories like were closely or like not so closely woven together. If you do read the book or you did read the book, Ben and Amy's storyline was my particular favorite. It got better, like the more you read, the more you went on, the more things got connected, but it took a little bit to get into.
We are next reading The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren, so that's just gonna be a fun romance. Hopefully, I feel like gonna be the first like
Collectively enjoyed
I don't
book.
know. We'll see. I don't know if everyone in our group reads or enjoys romance, so we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've read a Christina Lauren book, I think. So
same.
I think it'll be
probably
nice.
Since the Soulmate Equation, honestly.
Yeah,
which
we never read the
literally
second
over
Soulmate
2 years
Equation
ago,
book.
right? No, a year and a half ago. Anything else to say? Current book update. I am finishing my book this weekend. I have decided. Okay, I have like 2.5 hours left of the book, so I should be able to. I'm still reading The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, or of, I don't remember what it is. And I am thoroughly enjoying it. Like, it's a fairly long book, so give me some grace. It's like in the 500 to 600 page range, I think. And I really like it. It's the only series I'd say so far that like can give me the same vibes as ACOTAR, so I really love it in that sense. But it's just like, in general, I have not been in my reading grind like I need to be. So it is what it is. After I finish this book, I think I'm going to read Play Along, which is a new release in the Windy City series. And I think it'll be like a nice quick read to hopefully just get another book done.
I just finished reading a novel love story, and I gave it 3.5 stars. It was okay. I obviously like loved the 7-Year Slip, and so it just didn't feel like it had quite the same level of romance. And I also felt like the romance went from like nothing, like the characters didn't like each other, to then like all of a sudden, why are they like now in love? Like it was kind of, it wasn't even insta-lovey, but like I thought in my head, I was like, oh, I know why it was the main male character who kind of like switched up. I was like, oh, I bet I know he switches up, and then like that didn't come to fruition. So now I actually like, now that I'm really thinking about it, I don't know why he changed his mind
Interesting.
so quickly, or like at the tip of a hat or drop of a hat, whatever the phrase is. And the ending almost made me mad, but then the ending shifted, and I was like, okay, now it's still a romance book. So yeah, it was okay. There were some like good life lessons, I guess. Like it was almost in the genre of like romance to like women's fiction. It was kind of on that like sliding scale, I feel like. The premise is that the main character is like going through some personal stuff, and she's going on this book club trip that ends up just being her because no one else can go on the trip. And she gets lost when she's driving there and ends up like in the fictional world that she was like reading about.
Oh, okay.
Like there's like a storm, and then all of a sudden she's like in a small town, and then the small town is her book town. So the premise was neat. I just didn't feel like it was executed as well as it could have been.
Interesting. Okay.
And I have not read The Dead Romantics, so if you guys have read all of Ashley Poston or Poston's book, I still don't know how you say her last name, let me know where The Dead Romantics falls in the 7-Year Slip to a novel love story range. Otherwise, I don't know for sure what book I'm going to read next. I did recently purchase The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and I have not read a Riley Sager book, so I'm like, maybe. And I feel like I've been in more of like a mystery thriller mood, at least to like read more quickly.
I also have not forgotten about The Gift of Fear, but like I have not been reading that.
Yeah, I'm still also technically reading that, although I'm further along
Ciera's
than you
quite
are.
a bit further.
But like that's a book that we don't need to worry about
Yeah.
reading super fast. Once I get it done, I will have finished my 3 nonfiction book, like my goal that I had set. I also bought supplies for a book journal, so I'm like hoping to
I'm
start
curious
that
to see
soon.
like how you kind of end up deciding to go
I'm like
about
nervous. I'm nervous to start because like I'm such a perfectionist that like if it doesn't look good, I feel like I'll get angry and then I'll just give up, or I'll be like, I need to buy a new journal because this one looks bad now and I can't have it look bad in the beginning and then get better. And so I need to not do that. That's why I need to like start with pencil like first and kind of get things. I have seen people in some of the videos that I've watched like write on pencil like, oh, this page is for this page is for this, so that way they like know how many pages to allot for stuff. So we'll see. I have some ideas.
You could
for
even
some,
that would be good to like maybe do like you can almost like use your iPad to like sketch out like a page layout to maybe try.
You're smart.
Then like if you like it, then say, okay, now I'm ready to put it on the paper. That could be a smart idea.
You could be onto something there.
You can get your iPad out and do a little something with it.
Get my money's worth. I also broke. Megan and I have a weekend life video that just went up if you guys want to watch. I broke the body of our vlog camera, which is annoying because guess who like a few months ago broke the lens of the camera. Also me. So I need to repurchase the body. And at this point, we could have just gotten a completely new camera. I mean, it's fine. I like our camera, so I may have just gotten the same one all over again. And I do like the new lens that we have. And so, like, in that sense, you know, it's fine that we broke the lens. It forced us to try something new. But the body was just fine, and so it's kind of a bummer. And it's just like, I tried to sit on my shelf in the bathroom, and then it just fell, and I was turned away because I was going to look at my closet to get something. And I was like, please say that nothing happened. And then it had the screen was like, the camera is blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, my God. So
Sad stuff. Okay. So
I also got BLS recertified today.
And I got my oil change today in my car. So claps for getting those annoying things off our to-do list. I also, because I got my tires changed like a couple months ago, and it was just like every time I had, like before, I was going to get my oil change, and they would come out to me and be like,
girl, your tires.
You really need new tires, like basically. And I'd be like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, I'll figure it out. So finally today, it was nice for them to come back and be like, everything else looks good.
That would be funny if they were like, you need new tires, and you're like, I literally just got them changed.
But yeah, it was nice to just get that done off my to-do list. Also, what was weird is like, I swear not that long ago, I had checked, because I had a thing in my window, but I was like, I think they hadn't changed it from last time I got it changed, because I was like, I think I noticed that last time. So I don't think it was accurate and up to date. Otherwise, I was 3,000 miles over, and I just don't think I would have been 3,000 miles over when it said to get my oil changed. However, I will admit that somewhat recently, I thought I had checked, and I was like, oh, I'm at 20%. I should think about getting my oil changed. I'm now not sure how recently that was, because then when my car started like saying, get your engine changed or get your oil changed soon, I went to my percentage, 0%.
Oh.
So
Do you remember, what were you doing?
obviously a car still works at 0%. You know what I still can't get over? What actually is your oil change?
Right?
And I feel like, I don't know
No
if
one knows.
Grandpa was pulling a fast one on us, because I would trust him and what he said, but no one seems to agree with what I say he said. For context, our grandpa, like, he owned a towing company.
Like,
I
big
say
car
knows,
guy.
like, I trust his judgment and like his way around cars. And so he had told us at one point, like, oh, did you know, like, when you're going to get your oil changed, like, it's not actually like out of oil. They just need to like clean and filter it and whatnot. I'm just saying what he said, okay? I actually haven't looked this up myself to see what is happening or going on. But then, since
like,
I have
mentioned
said
that
that to other people or like our dad or something, I feel like they're kind of like,
Well, they're like, no, because you look at the level. And I'm
and then
like,
I was like, true. What?
so then we're like, was Grandpa lying?
I don't know. I do not know. It's none of my
Anything
business.
car related is simply above my pay grade. Like, I will not learn. I don't care to learn. My car.
Or like, you know how like, I have never fallen for like the blinker fluid joke, but that's something where it's like, I quite literally have
It's
no
so above my pay
thing-
grade that like people would say it. And granted, I have not heard the joke a lot. Like, just generally in like a not reality TV, but like I feel like sitcoms have used it before. And I just guess I've never really like thought about it. I don't know. Like,
there could be some mechanism
I'm
by
not
which
I'm not trying to say like I knew blinker fluid did not exist, but I was like, I don't know what it could be
I
for.
only have ever heard of it in the context of just like, you need to get your blinker fluid changed or something.
And like no one's ever tried to pull that joke on me.
Yeah.
So I haven't had to like be faced with it. I feel like I just had
like,
like
have
I've heard
heard.
and I've had no thoughts.
Yeah. So,
Like if someone, before I knew that it was not a thing, if someone were to say like, oh, like you need to go like ask for blinker fluid, I'd A, be like, no, you do it, because I'm not going into the auto parts store.
And then B, I'd probably be looking it up and then start being like,
I'd be like, I'm not finding it anywhere.
I'd start being like, people joking about blinker fluid, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, what am I missing?
And they're always like, what would blinker fluid be for? And I'm like, there are so many parts to a car that I simply don't know. So it could be for literally anything. My uncle, this is me saying my car was making a noise, or it technically still is making a noise. Although, in my opinion, nothing too crazy. But my grandma told me to have my uncle look at it. And so I did on Monday. And he was looking around. He was looking under the car, looking, in the hood. And it's like he's like looking at stuff, like knowing A, what things are, and B, like knowing what moves, what doesn't move, how things like whatever. And I'm just like, this means nothing to me. And also, he didn't find anything wrong, but I'm still supposed to technically, according to him, probably go get it like checked out or something to see if someone
somewhere can figure
out what's rattling. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. So we'll see when I do that. Anyway, that brings me to my next point. My dad is knowledgeable enough in cars to be more knowledgeable than me, but like I would not say he's a car guy and that he likes cars. He likes looking at cars and he knows types of cars, like makes and models and years. He doesn't know
fix
the inside of a car or like anything like that. And so, when you're going to like buy a car or something like that, they're like, oh, like, do you want to like pop the hood? We were joking, like, I'd be like, no, quite honestly, like, don't, because I don't know what I'm looking at. And then my dad, we were like saying this around, he was kind of like, I don't really know what I would look at either. And so it just made me laugh because like they'd be like, pop it open.
So here's this and this here, blah, blah.
It could literally be like broken, everything's like not attached and like in different spots. And I'd be like, looks good. I like it. Give it to me.
Fantastic. So. I'll take 14 of them.
So yeah, that's my car spiel. My BLS thing was in the same place I got it last time.
Oh, and you had no memory of that when you were...
No. I didn't remember the name of, like, the place. I think now that I'll remember it. So we'll see 2 years from now. And, like, it's funny because, like, it's probably happened last time where I was like, oh, like, that wasn't that big of a deal. And then I couldn't remember where I had gotten myself certified last time. So then I just went through the same process of trying to find a place. And it ended up being the same place I went to last time. And that's where I'll try and go 2 years from now again. I will say I watched a BLS like refresh video. There's like 12 minutes on YouTube before going to the class. And like you don't have to do that because like they give you like they will make sure you pass. Like they're not trying to fail you, and you get a book to like look at stuff while you're taking the test. But I feel like I was much faster. Like I got done like with the test and the skills in less than a half hour. And I feel like it would have taken me longer just because like, I'd have to flip through the book a little bit more had I not watched the video. So I'd recommend watching a refresher video.
Okay, with all that being said, should we jump into some of the different hills that we would die on, and then we can share what you guys would say? Ciera and I have not reviewed these with each other beforehand. So
do you think we have any of the same ones?
I'd be kind of surprised because like we kind of just like went willy-nilly wherever our thoughts took us. So I have no specific categories. It's just
I don't either.
But we'll see. The first one that I have is no tipping for counter service. Tipping culture has literally gotten so crazy, and like now that we have screens and iPads at every checkout thing ever, all of a sudden anything and everything is asking for a tip.
The thing is that it's smart.
It's smart on the business side, but it's also just like, I remember when this first started happening, I was like questioning everything. I was like, I've never tipped here before, but now I feel like they're putting you in a situation you kind of feel obligated to tip. I feel like at this point in time, everyone has collectively decided, like, this is ridiculous. I know you guys have to do it because you're just working here and you don't care if I tip or not, probably. And so I'm just going to stick to what I know.
Well, counter service is also different from restaurants because they make at least minimum wage,
They just want to take advantage of people who are, like, dumb or just, like, willing to answer yes on the screen.
Yeah. I mean,
I personally... if I'm going up to a counter and like it's counter service stuff, or I'm at a drive-throughs don't do that. Honestly, that'd be crazy.
They might, honestly, with the thing they hand out the window now where they're like, here. I hate when they hand out the window. Take my card.
And so I do not tip for that. And the only time I tip is when I'm sitting down at a restaurant.
Maggie said that she was talking to Jerry, her dad, and he was like, "You don't tip here?"
Yeah.
And
I
she
think
was
it was
like,
just counter service stuff.
Okay.
I also was just thinking of something recently. Where were we at somewhat recently where I feel like the service was actually bad enough where I was like, I always usually, like, no matter the service, tip 20%. But this time it was, like, actually bad enough where I was like, and we are tipping 15% because, like, what was this? You would think if it's making such an impression, I would remember what the situation was.
It wasn't Coach's, was it? That was like
No,
forever
that was,
ago.
it
I
was
should go
more
get some
recent.
almond encrusted chicken. That sounds good.
It was more recent than that. Like, I want to say within the past 2 or 3 months. So I'll have to think on that and see if it pops in my memory. But I can't remember. So
First one I have is what a skort is. So there's been, I feel like, especially like recently too, at least on my TikTok, I've seen people fighting about like, what is a skort, the full skirt with shorts underneath, or is a skort like the skirt and then the back is shorts? And honestly, what's funny is that like the hill that I would die on is probably like the technically incorrect one. But like when I say skort, I mean
I feel like
full
it's
skirt
because
with
you
shorts
have to
underneath. Because
change-
why on earth would you wear the other one? Is my thought.
I feel like you have to, like, you know, in the context of like everyday life and the world we live in now, meanings can change. And so being that no one probably wears what the technical definition of a skirt is, being like this shorts in the back and the skirt in the front.
Like, no offense if you have a hair like that, but why would you wear that? Because I understand functionally the purpose of a skort is you want the look of a skirt, but then you want to be able to like move around freely.
Don't you want it to look like a skirt?
So then
all the
why
way
don't you
around?
just wear the skirt with the built-in shorts or underwear, brief, or whatever you want to
Also,
call
some
it?
people say that's just called a tennis skirt. I have a nice non-athletic skirt.
I
that
will
is
never
not-
wear a skirt unless it has like built-in something
I
underneath.
know that really changed my life when I got my black Abercrombie skirt. Because before I was just like never even considering, like, I was just like, well, I won't be wearing skirts. I can't be doing that.
Or like, you know how people, it's like just, I don't know if it's trends changing or like, I don't know if people still do this, but like, do you remember if it was dresses or skirts or whatever, people, like girls would always wear Nike Pros, including me. Like I was doing that, like wearing skirt or wearing Nike Pros underneath like my homecoming dress. Like if I was going to a wedding and I had a dress on, like I was wearing Nike Pros, and I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone does that anymore. Because I'm either wearing a skirt or dress long enough that I'm like, well, the purpose of the shorts were so like I wouldn't flash anyone, and I'm not gonna flash anyone in this long dress because what on earth would I be doing? And then if I'm wearing like a mini skirt, it
You
is
just
a
gotta be
skirt.
more.
So
I guess your black one, yes, but like, what other dresses do you have? If it was, what other short dresses do you have where it's also a skirt?
you know what I wonder? This could be like me being a total hypocrite. My Abercrombie blazer dress. What does the back of that look like?
I feel like there's no way it's shorts in the back, is it?
I don't think so.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
I think I would have.
There are shorts in it though.
I feel like that's not very common though.
Yeah,
I have
that's
a
why.
couple.
The thing is though, I don't wear a lot of short dresses these days.
Yeah.
And honestly, like if I do, I like in recent memory,
Or like I have like
I've just, like,
exercise
risked it.
dresses. So then,
it's built in.
yeah.
But,
But I
like-
would agree. I kind of just am like, I'm just going to be careful.
Yeah.
And-
Because I have, and granted, like I said, I don't wear short dresses often. But when we were in Hawaii, I had like that the brown cutout dress. I just risked it. I was like, we're just going to walk and be careful. And that's all we're doing. We're sitting down. We're just being careful. And then we have like that red dress that I wore like for the photo shoot. But I would probably not wear that dress out. Like that would be way too risky. Which is partly like why I don't like wearing
Yeah.
short dresses.
You just like can't live your life.
And first and foremost, what am I going to do? I'm going to live my life. So I think I actually like midi to like longer length dresses these days anyways for most like formal
Functions.
or semi-formal functions. So it's just because I'm growing and aging.
Okay. My next one was that dude and guys is gender neutral. I do think most people, this only made me put it on the list because like there have been situations where like, I mean, I say guys all the time. Like I just do. And so there have been a few instances in my life where people are like, guys,
Girls?
you're talking about girls. And I'm just like, oh my God.
We have
Get with the times.
surpassed-
This is back to like, in the context of everyday life and situations, like you
Every
understand.
time you say that, do you know what I think of?
Huh.
The Kamala Harris quote where it's like, you live within the context of the world. Whatever she said
No,
about the
I don't
pineapple.
know that quote.
You don't?
It's not coming
You
to
think
my
you
head
fell
right
out of
now.
a coconut tree?
Oh, I've just been seeing that.
That's what you keep reminding me of.
Sorry.
That's fine. I don't mind it.
And so I just am kind of like, stop being dumb on purpose.
You should put that on a shirt.
Stop being dumb on purpose.
Yeah. I feel like I also agree. I have used the term guys. Like I'll
I'm
text
not much
it.
of like I don't say dude very much. Like I
don't either.
honestly like ever probably. But I understand like other people it's just like naturally part of their terminology, things they say all the time. And you can say it to whoever you want.
And it's annoying then when people like correct you and it's like, well, I'm not.
I know what I'm saying.
I don't need to be corrected.
Trust me. I know what I'm saying.
Oh, I actually know all the people that I'm talking to, and I know, like, to me, this is a gender neutral term. I'll text our group chat of all girls and be like, hey guys, I need to know, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
probably what we just said, like, when we were texting. Hey guys, book clubs today. Like, can't wait to see you all there.
Okay, next one I have is no sheets on the bed.
Oh, that is such a good one. I should have put that. I am so strongly, I am running full steam ahead on this hill, preparing for battle.
So for the longest time, Meg and I have not had, like, what are those sheets called? Are they just
Top
regular
sheets,
sheets? The
front
top sheets
sheets.
on our bed. So it's just,
And this has gained momentum.
It
I would
has.
say this
It
is
really
more
has.
mainstream now.
we have, like, obviously the
Fitted
sheet. Thank you so much for knowing all of your bed sheet terminology. Fitted sheet, comforter. That's it.
I remember, because obviously growing up, like, parents would buy your bedding. You'd have, like, this is my bedding. Okay, I'm making bedded. There was just, like, one day where this was, like, prefrontal lobe development. But, like, part of it must have, like, awoken and, like, came to light the day I decided, why am I doing this? I don't like to sleep with a sheet, really. / like, I don't need a sheet. It's not providing me any warmth. And it's so freaking annoying every single time I'm making my bed because I hardly care about this thing. I'm not using it.
I think it
Get rid of
started,
it.
like, when we were younger, I feel like, in general, kids are just, like, crazy sleepers, more so than when you're an adult. So, like, maybe if I put a sheet on, like, it would not be the end of the world to, like, make my bed with it. But, like, I don't need a sheet to sleep, and therefore, like, I haven't put on.
Mm-hmm.
Would you, like, in the future, if your partner's like, I need a fitted sheet, would you be like, okay, we could put it
I
back
just kind
on?
of feel like I'd be like, I can sway your opinion.
I'd be
I
like,
can
you make the
change
bed
your
then.
mind. And also it's like part of it, some people say like, oh, well then how do you like, some
But it's
people
hot,
use it
what do
like
you
in place
do?
of a duvet or something, or like they're kind of like, this protects the comforter from
Oh, really? I haven't heard that.
said, like, you can't clean a comforter very easily, so then fitted sheet would make more sense.
I actually do get that.
And so, okay, fair enough. I have a duvet cover, so I can clean my duvet cover.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yep. Team no top sheet.
My next one is college sports are better than pro sports. This is purely for the sake of, I mean, NIL changes this a little bit, but I do feel like you can't quite, like, you can be a fan of a pro team, but it's not quite the same as, like, and I know not every college sports fan has been to said college, but it really makes it so you have more stake and skin in the game when
You're like, that's my school.
you're like, I've been there. I went to class there. I bleed black and gold for Iowa specifically. Thank you, Ciera, for wearing an Iowa sweatshirt for today. But it just means a lot more when you've got
more.
personal
What
time.
is that?
Hmm?
It means more. It's like some slogan for something. It just means more.
I don't know.
Okay.
You act like those
I don't know what I'm
normal
endorsing.
words. So yeah, and I don't mind pro sports, but I just don't feel nearly as invested to watch said things. I will say actually, like, I have grown significantly more interested in the NFL in recent years. But that's more so as like a general sports fan.
SEC is, it just means more.
Okay. Related to sports, that's good.
Yeah, college sports.
So there we go. It just means it's so right. They have such an accurate. I'm like, oh, this all makes sense.
You know what's funny is that obviously Caitlin Clark went to Iowa, I was watching them during the tournament. But this just goes to show I don't care about pro sports. She went to she went to Fever. Everyone else followed her. And I said, I'm staying right here.
See, I do still follow her Instagram, and like I see plenty of stuff on X to like stay updated on how they're doing. I don't follow specific
I stay
games.
updated against my will.
Well,
Twitter sucks. Sorry, X. We need a new app.
I saw one of our, just because the 3 I had seen when he posted, one of the things that people sent in on the hill they would die on is that Twitter's the best social media.
X or Twitter.
They said Twitter.
I liked it, right before Elon Musk bought it and changed it.
I actually was like in my
it.
prime. I loved my Twitter.
And I'm not even trying to say this as like the anti-Elon Musk. Like, I don't like the guy.
Do you see every single one of his tweets?
No.
Okay. I think
I may have blocked him, honestly.
Oh, well, I think he must feed his tweets to every single user on X because
he's like,
I see
we're
every
here.
single one.
Let me look, actually, because I'm curious. You should block him if you...
I probably should.
Yeah, I blocked or muted him. Yep.
I'm seeing way too many like political things right now, honestly.
I just feel like the verification thing, since he bought it, makes literally zero sense because the whole purpose of verification is to know like which. So like they had to literally make multiple like layered verification stuff to be like, well, we actually do need to know like, oh, this is the president's account and like this is the Department of Homeland Security. So they're like, oh, you get a silver verification, but like if you buy it, you get the blue one, and it makes no sense. And I do follow people on Twitter, but like they don't post anything. It's always like the For You like feed or whatever it's called.
Like, I could probably switch my following to 0 people and
see the same stuff.
Yeah.
I still go on it, but I feel like I'm getting off more and more quickly. The news stuff isn't like as like the Twitter moments.
Can we bring back Twitter moments? Oh my God.
The same. While we're at it, bring back Facebook News. I miss it. And Yahoo's not the same. They used to have like their
updated.
Did they?
They just changed how they looked, so it looks different now.
Oh, I used to go to Yahoo all the time and just scroll through stuff.
And they would have like 80 stories that I could see what I wanted to see.
I literally remember like I would get home from school. This was my routine, and it could take me up to 3 hours if I had nothing to do. I'd get home, go to Yahoo, click all the way through, and be like, pull this story up in a new tab, pull this story up in a new tab, pull this story up.
News girl.
And then I'd go to YouTube. Remember all the BuzzFeed channels? I'd go through all of the BuzzFeed channels, pull this video up to the side, pull this video up to the side.
She just queuing up her content.
Could literally take me hours. And that's what I would do when I'd get home from school.
Before TikTok, we had to do something.
Yeah.
Okay, my next one is that a prenup does not mean that you don't have faith in your marriage.
I agree.
I mean, this is also like
in a world like today,
this is maybe a product of like us growing up with divorced parents. But it's also like as much as anyone else want to believe in love and a happy marriage. Okay, that's what I want. That's what everyone wants.
You either have it and don't need it, or you need it and you don't have it,
or you need it and you wish you had it, which I'd rather not be in. So I just feel as though, especially like, I'm hoping like if God forbid I ever need to get divorced, I would hope it'd be like we could both be reasonable enough to kind of say like, I want what's mine, you want what's yours, and then like I don't really know how you would divide the rest of the assets up. I don't know the difference in our earnings and whatnot, but like I'd like to think that I as a person would be understanding of like what I was or was not owed from my partner, and at the very least like a prenup can just draw like a more straightforward
I also would
line.
be curious because I'm not like that knowledgeable in prenups obviously, but I know like people always say like it's more important to get them like the older you are and the more established you are, because you have
different
more
assets
to your name, versus like people that get married like fresh out of college or like when they're really young, they don't have a ton of assets anyways. And granted, I still don't know like in terms of a prenup like what that would mean,
right?
But if you don't have assets, like is there anything to get a prenup for? I don't know. But like I have assets now.
I know.
So I would want to get one.
Like I'm definitely, as I see myself now, I feel like I have enough assets where like I would want one. But that's my thought.
Okay. Next one I have is Alex Karev never would have done what he did.
I love how'd that come to your head? Was it your Patrick Dempsey TikTok?
No, I don't remember what I was looking at. I think it was like a
that
show
popped
or
up
something.
On mine though, and I had to give it a like.
Sorry if you're watching Grey's Anatomy, like this will spoil it. I'm sorry, but like you're either
skip ahead if you want
in it or you're not. Alex Karev, arguably like one of my like top, like probably second favorite character on the show, right after McDreamy. I loved Alex Karev. Thought he had a great character arc, starting off being like this unlikable sleazeball. He's very
like Joe Keery in Stranger Things.
Like honestly. Steve Harrington, yeah.
I was like, what's his name?
Yeah. So he had tremendous growth. Obviously, like went through heartache when Izzy left, and then like fell madly in love with Joe. They were such a great couple. Married.
Was a great partner to her during her own trauma and stuff that she was dealing with.
And like, then he just, I know that Justin Chambers wanted to leave the show. I know he wanted an out. I'm just saying that the way they wrote him out is something that Alex Karev never would have done. And so Megan and I stopped watching very shortly after that.
I was like, well, now this whole show is fake.
And I was like, oh, this is a lie. You're just writing lies now.
I can't trust anything you
like
write.
I stayed loyal to you guys when you killed off McDreamy just for you to do this, and this is the last straw.
My two favorite characters are gone.
So
for what?
So I don't know what Grey's Anatomy has going on now, and I quite frankly don't care.
Sometimes like when I see like edits of like old Grey's, like the first few seasons, and just like when I was still watching, it does make me nostalgic, and sometimes I'm like, I should go back. I should rewatch like the beginning episodes. But my favorite episodes actually, like I can't name specific seasons, but I do know some people like the first few seasons, and I felt like my happy medium was kind of more in that like mid range of seasons. I don't know the exact.
There's probably like 20 seasons now.
There are.
Like we need like after the merge, you know, we've got Avery and April and all of them. Karev is there. McDreamy's still there, and
it's had many layers.
Yeah,
many layers. Okay. Okay. My next opinion is it's okay to leave your belongings at the beach and go swim. Leave your things alone. They are not going to get stolen.
Someone's going to come and be like, I actually did leave my things alone and they got stolen. I agree. This makes me think of Dad.
I know. And like it's so annoying because I'm just like, just live your life.
Leave.
But if we go on like a beach vacation with our dad, everyone else at the beach.
Like, literally at Adventureland he does this.
Yeah. It's like he feels so
or the pool,
wrong
like,
leaving any personal belongings unattended. When I'm kind of like, you have to assume that like we live in a world of collective good and people that are like it's the collective people being there that's going to prevent someone from doing that or taking something.
Or like stay directly within line of sight of your belongings.
Mm-hmm.
And if something were to happen,
you can run after them.
Yeah. Hopefully you wouldn't have to because you'd probably look ridiculous, but you can keep your stuff within line of sight. Like I put my stuff in my bag and like put my bag, under my chair. I'm not trying to be like, take whatever you want. But
here's $100 like laying on my towel.
Yeah. I try to be smart, but I'm also like, no one's going to take it.
And so far,
something, I'm not going to even remember like what context this was in, but I feel like this is going to be like a nothing statement. I'm like, I feel like something happened recently where it's like, I like left something out on accident or something and like it was there when I went back to get it, but that I don't know what that is. So you're welcome for that little anecdote. They sell stuff
too now where it's like, I swear they sell like a fake can where it's like actually a safe or something that you can like keep personal belongings in.
Interesting.
Like something that's like a little less obvious. So if you're really, really that paranoid, at least do something like that. Like go live your life.
Okay. Next one I have is toilet paper direction does not matter.
I also don't care.
Like, it's funny because this is a hill that some people, like, will die on, the opposite hill, where they say, your toilet paper... Honestly, it's all of you toilet paper over people that are going crazy. I don't think anyone is preferentially a toilet paper under person.
They just don't care.
I think they're just us. And they're like, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Pay attention to how I put my toilet paper on the roll.
Like, it's hanging either way. I'm reaching a little bit further, and then I'm grabbing the toilet paper and ripping it off. And it's the same thing. So... Like, I think that I've gotten in the habit of, like, putting it over just to be, like, appease the masses. Of, like, okay, if I have a guest come over and, like, they might want my toilet paper to be flipped over. But aesthetically, I don't care. Functionally, I don't care. If anything, I know, like, at least functionally, people that have pets or, like, cats or something, they need to put it the other way, because if their cat tries to get a hold of their paper towels, or not paper towels, their toilet paper, it won't unroll. You know what I mean? Like, people say that their cats try to, like, paw at the toilet paper, and if it's over, it'll just come completely undone. Versus if it's under,
Interesting.
just keeps staying wrapped up. So,
Okay. My next one, we've said it before, I'll say it again. Snapchat should not be your primary form of communication. Arguably, you don't need it at all. But at the very least.
I say this every time we bring this up. I should delete my Snapchat. But I've got all my memories on there. Like the actual memories that I don't want to delete.
Mm-hmm. They give me a laugh every once in a while. I need to keep it for that.
But I did delete. I don't ever post stories on there. And I tried to look up forever ago, like when Snapchat was still like a bigger social media platform. And like we had, like I was like, oh, like follow me on Snapchat and like watch my stories. I still never really posted stories on Snapchat. And now I've like tried to make it so people cannot add me because I don't post anything on there, and I always get notifications randomly of like, so-and-so added you. I don't know, A, how to get those notifications to go away, and B, how are they still adding me? And where are they finding my username? I thought I've deleted it from like everywhere.
Probably old YouTube descriptions.
I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying you're going to add me and you're going to get nothing. Because I haven't posted on Snapchat in years, and I will not add you back. So,
okay. My next one is...
Oh, wait, is it my turn?
Or yeah, it is. Go ahead.
My next one is the sidewalk rule. My sidewalk rule. If you are walking in opposite directions of someone, no matter how many people you have in your group, or if you're just by yourself, you get 50% of the sidewalk. So if I'm walking down the sidewalk, someone's coming in the opposite direction, and they have 20 people with them, I'm staying on the sidewalk on the right side. And then your group can form a single file line on your 50% of the sidewalk and walk past me. It drives me insane, and men do this more than women. Men don't care. Men will take up the whole sidewalk. And I'm trying to stand my ground.
That's not very
when this
sidewalk
happens.
rule of them.
No, it's not.
I'm going to start walking. I'm going to start veering towards the roadside.
And then what are you going to do? The other sidewalk rule, where you have to save me now, because apparently I'll get hit by a car if I walk on the side of the sidewalk by the road. It just is so rude to me. Drives me crazy.
I would like the amount of times that like I would get so mad at that, especially like in college when I was doing a lot more walking and like there's a whole lot more pedestrians. I'd get livid.
And then this also secondarily related to this. When you are navigating a corner, do you like have a way that you go about navigating the corner? Like you're turning a corner.
Like in a building where it's like
Yes.
I can't see around the corner. If I'm on the right side, I take a wide right.
You always stay to the right.
Yeah.
Not everyone does that. So then you run into people going around the corner. Like if you always stay on the right side. So you're either you're by the wall, turning right, you take a close right turn. If you're turning left, you got to take a wide left for possible incoming traffic near the wall. I do this all the time in the gym. The gym, going to the locker room, that corner is specifically the corner that I thought of when thinking of this. I am always running into people in that corner.
That is a tight corner.
Because people are always trying to go right
I
by
think it's
the corner.
because people are trying to like, it's two corners, but like they're really short and close together. So I feel like people try and treat it as like a straight line path, but you can't fit two people in that straight line path.
No.
So you have
So like when I'm going from like the gym into the locker room, again, that's the tight right. I'm trying to stay close to the wall, and then I have people coming out and they're like running into me. And when I leave the locker room, I take a wide left. So this is very important to me.
Okay. My next one is, this one is my preferential order for like if you're getting ready to go somewhere, the order of hair, outfit, makeup. My order, which I feel like is the right order. I think this is the most commonly said order. Do you have it in your head?
Yes.
Hair, makeup, outfit.
Yes.
That has to be the order. It only makes sense in that way. I feel like everyone like outfit last. That makes sense. No one's putting on their outfit first. You need to do your hair first so then it has time to sit, settle, whatever it may be. And or if you're doing like an updo already, your hair will be out of your face already for you to then do the makeup. If I have like my hair sitting in a roller, let it sit in the roller while I then do my makeup. I do not see a world in which I would want to do my makeup first, especially like if you're getting hot and sweaty doing your hair, you're ruining your makeup. So I only see hair, makeup, outfit as being the correct order.
I also just feel like in other ways, hair is like the hardest thing for me to do. So it's like I want to get it done first. And then like you said, I'd need to like maybe brush it out or something. I haven't curled my hair in a while actually. But like that's typically like what I'm
Or
doing
like it
if I
might
do
be
my
the thing
hair.
that like you can cut corners with makeup in terms of like how much time you have to dedicate to something. But if you do your makeup all the way through and then you're starting to run short on time, like you can't really shorten your way out of doing your hair.
No. And then the only thing for like outfit last, if you can, I know some people like depending on what shirt, dress, or top they're wearing, they might need to put it on first because they don't want to ruin their hair and makeup. So that's understandable. We're open to exceptions. We can be flexible. But then like you should put like a jacket or something on over top that zips. So if you were to get more for like the heavy-handed makeup artists out there who
don't want to get makeup on their shirts.
I'm thinking about you guys. I could easily do my makeup with a
Whatever
wedding dress on probably and not worry about getting on anything on it. I think I need to get new mascara because I quite literally think I've been using a dried up tube of mascara for a year. But I'm like, I gotta put my mascara on. I look so much better.
Okay. I only have one more. I don't know if you have one last one as well.
I have two more. Plural versus possessive S's. More so, it bothers me when people don't do it correctly. I think specifically like wedding signs with this. How often do you see someone have a neon sign at their wedding of like the so-and-sos and there's an apostrophe and it's like genuinely breaks my heart for them that they are like admitting to their guests how stupid they are. Because there should not be an apostrophe. You are announcing yourself as a collective like group of people, which is plural, which means you don't need an apostrophe ever at all.
There's never a situation in which you do.
You know what I've wondered? Because I'm not like a huge like grammar freak. With Stitz, like would the plural of Stitzes be with an ES?
I think so. That'd be off-putting. I just kind of think I wouldn't.
Right? Like neon sign, the Stitzes. Granted, like if at my wedding, that would not be what it would say. So
unless you have a really progressive
he wants to take my last name. And none of the men in our family have gotten married have done a neon sign, so I haven't gotten to see it play out. But like imagine they did like Stitzes with just like an S and an apostrophe, like. And I even checked Haley's wedding. I was like, because they had a neon sign that said the Craycrafts, and I was like, you did not put an apostrophe in there, did you? They didn't. So it's also like, wouldn't you be paying more? Here's the other thing: you have to buy these. Granted, I don't know how many like are actual people making these signs that would then like go through the effort of correcting you. But like, would you not have to pay more to have like the extra apostrophe in there?
No idea.
I don't know how neon sign pricing goes. But I just get embarrassed for people that do that.
It's the same energy as people who put like the year and the apostrophe wrong in their bio.
That's in some ways worse because it looks bad. Like at least like, you know, I'm using Haley's last name as an example, but like the Craycrafts with an apostrophe S, like you could say that like, you know, in the, like if it's like you're saying Haley Craycraft's house, you know, that is a word or like last name tight, like it can exist out in the world and it makes sense. That 24
and
apostrophe
it's in the context of education
never exists.
In which you're just saying how dumb you are by not understanding where the apostrophe goes. Yeah.
Learn up on some of this stuff. Check your bios, you guys.
My last one, this I only added because it bothered me when I was sitting waiting to record this podcast, and I was like, this is annoying. when people, now I'm personally not a fan of adding music to an Instagram post, okay? But if there is something with an Instagram post that has music and a tagged person, God forbid,
hate that.
please, if I'm tapping the
I
picture,
hate that.
let me see who's tagged and do not start blasting the music. Oh my God.
That's, I think, the worst one of them all. I go crazy when that happens.
Like, the only way you can see the tagged person is
like,
by
hit the
going
tiny
directly
little dot.
to the tagged icon. Drives me insane.
There should be a way that you can like turn off all music on Instagram.
I do not
did you
wanna hear
see?
it.
I haven't looked into this, but like Instagram had a new update where it's like you can add a note. What is
I
that?
did.
What does that mean?
The energy it gave me was like
Like, what was your impression? Because I have what my impression was.
my impression is like you're quote tweeting something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where would it go? Onto your feed?
I think it would like be in like your story or something. I really don't know.
My
Actually,
impression,
haven't
I
tested
could be
it out.
totally wrong because I haven't looked at it. My impression was that like I could write like, let's say we both followed Joe Jonas. I could write a note to be like, OMG, like loving this song. And then like if you followed Joe Jonas, you would see my note on his post
Where?
when it's on your feed.
But like on the photo?
Yes.
Huh.
And you could like X out of it.
I don't want to see that. I hope that's not how it is.
I genuinely think that was like my...
Well, here's the thing. Here's why I think the way I think. I'm tapping it right now. I'm just on a thing where it's like add note and it goes to like the little your profile and like add a note. And if you go to your own personal account, that same kind of thing is there. So do you have to go to someone's personal profile to even see that? Does it last for 24 hours? Is it longer than that?
How do you add a note anyways?
You go to the share thing and then add note is an option now.
It's like I want to do it just because I like want to know what it is,
Do
but
it.
I don't want to actually do it.
Do it.
No.
You can delete it right away.
Maybe after we're done with this, I'm too stressed. I need more hands.
Okay. Well, that was my last one.
Okay. I have one more. And this actually, I thought of it because I was just on Facebook. I feel very passionately about the fact that you should not wear white sneakers with a suit.
Okay.
Someone just got married. Did you see that on Facebook?
No.
It was actually someone we just talked about at book club that just got married.
Oh. I need to go see.
And it's like the opposite of the sandwich method, which I feel like is why it's partially so off-putting. Because it's like you got this black or dark suit and then like these crisp white shoes. And then that's the only thing I'm looking at is your shoes. And they're just like Nike Air Forces or something. Why are you wearing that to a wedding?
It's probably like their personality piece of the outfit.
And like I do get there are sneakerheads out there who they're like, it's my wedding, like I gotta have my best pair of sneakers on. So it's like I respect it in that sense, but I don't like it.
Yeah, that's a good take. That's a good take. You can have that.
Like I'm like, okay, I get why you're doing that. You're a big sneakerhead. Me personally, I don't think it looks good, and will say that, not to them, obviously. Like on their wedding day, I'm not gonna say I hate your sneakers, but I'll think it, and I'm fine with you knowing that I think it. It's like also like you know how girls like wear like sneakers with their wedding dress, that never looks good. Like
it's just more. So
you're
like,
just more of like a sneakerhead. Like I get it.
Yeah.
Why you want to do it, and also it's like more comfortable. I'm not stupid. I get that, but it never looks good. And so, and I'm not a sneakerhead, so I'm like, I'm not doing that.
All right. There we have it. Those were all of our opinions of... Oh, wait. We didn't even get to people...
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys have anything good?
We have to share your soapbox opinions. Okay. This reminded me of last week you just said that I was getting my soapbox, and like this entire episode is basically just us being on our soapboxes. You know, start at the top or the bottom?
I don't care.
I'll start at the bottom. Someone said women's basketball has become more entertaining than men's. I feel like that is a very popular opinion with the whole Caitlin Clark of it all.
And others.
Caitlin Clark et al.
Some people are being
I
funny
see the one
just
saying
saying
Twitter is the best
specifically
social
hills.
media. Here's my other hill that I want to die on. When we were looking stuff up for this episode, I was on Reddit of like just getting ideas of other people's opinions and like hills that they would die on. And people like making jokes of like, I would probably die on Mount Everest, or someone's like, if I had to pick a hill to die on, it'd be a pile of laundry. You are not funny. I am trying to get hot takes and opinions here. I'm sorry if that's Sorry if I'm being mean to our listeners.
Okay, someone said afternoon and college classes are better than early mornings.
Yeah. Honestly, my ideal, like, if I had to pick, like, when I start and when I end my classes in college, it's like, I want to start
9:30 or
9,
10.
9:30
Maybe
or
9 at the
10.
earliest, but
And, like, I want to be done at 3:30.
Yeah.
If 4 o'clock or something, I'm like, no, my day's over. So, someone said, not every book has to have romance. I do love a book with romance, though.
it's a good subplot, though, you must admit.
That's fair, though. I think that, like, if there's a good book, like, that's not... I think where I struggle is when, like, there could be romance and
But
there
they're
isn't.
almost teasing and, like, not letting it happen.
Yeah, but if it's, like, a thriller or, like, mystery that I'm reading, then, like, I don't need romance.
Yeah. Someone said you need to read Assassin's Blade before Throne of Glass.
I cannot yet provide an opinion because I've only read Assassin's Blade, but I'm low-key feeling like you shouldn't read it first because I have not continued the series right now. No Lululemon dupe will ever compare to Lululemon quality. I do agree with this one. I don't buy it nearly as much Lululemon, but like if I had to pick like what leggings and stuff I'm reaching for, I'm always wearing out all of my Lulu stuff before I reach for the other stuff.
I agree.
I really only feel like this applies to leggings. I don't have a ton of Lululemon workout tops anymore. Or like I'm happy reaching for like my Target workout top and whatever. But like the leggings specifically,
you just can't beat them.
Not Lululemon leggings, but like I can tell.
Oh, I can tell. So I think that was
it.
The main ones.
Okay, we should have posted this sooner so we could have got more opinions. But sorry, guys.
Okay, now we will finish up the episode. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you subscribe to our podcast. You can go rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever else you can rate us. You can subscribe to us on YouTube and watch the video version.
And we will talk to you guys next Thursday.
Bye.